Hello everyone, this is my informational interview presentation. I decided to interview my old teacher, Dennis Minnie. He taught 27 dual credits, including media arts, digital photography, motion graphics, drawing, graphic design 1, graphic design 2, film and video, image and sound recording, interactive media design, and topics and issues at Whiteside Area Career Center and Sauk Valley Community College. He has his bachelor's degree in social science from the University of Ottawa, Canada, and he was my professor my junior and senior year for digital media arts, and he made me into who I am today. So why did I want to interview him? I wanted to interview him mainly because he was the person that believed in my work and helped me find out what I wanted to do as a career. He brought me so many great opportunities that I would never gotten on my own. What I'm saying is he is a huge inspiration to me and is just a huge part of my life. I am where I am now because of him, and I want to learn how he went to a social science degree to a digital media arts professor at a career center. My goal for this interview is to find out why he chose this career and what made him change his mind. I also would love to know what drove him to teaching young kids rather than making his own business. It is a huge commitment that he made, and Dennis is honestly so multi-talented and could make it so far and do anything he wanted to with this world. The first question I wanted to ask him is, how did he get interested in media arts? And his answer was, I always was interested in drawing, and in high school I was an artist for the school newspaper, photographer for the yearbook, and worked at an art center for designing posters and brochures. In college, he was interested in communications and film classes. Then he said, I was lucky to work for a website company that focused on media content, mostly for athletics. And then when I started working as a media arts teacher, it was a perfect fit for sharing my interest and skills. The second question I asked him is what drove him to teach young adults, and what does he like most about teaching young adults? And his response was, while working for the website company, I got to work with high school students, teaching them photography and videography. I enjoyed teaching people that really wanted to learn and maybe inspired to go into a media arts career. My favorite thing about teaching young adults is sharing the work of philosophies, styles, skills, interests that go on in the classroom. I see myself as a facilitator as well as a mentor, but also as someone that should learn from my students and understand their perspective. And then I went on to ask him if he had to pick a certain area of digital media arts to do for the rest of his life, what would he choose, such as recording arts, graphic design, film and video, and more. His response honestly didn't really surprise me, and his response was, I always had a passion for movies, and if I had to choose a specific area to do for the rest of my life, I would probably choose video and movie work. I always thought that the cinema allows someone to use visual, technical, photography, composition, sound, musical, teamwork, and storytelling skills together to express ideas and tell a complete story. The next question I wanted to ask Dennis is, what is the most challenging part of his career? And he said the most challenging part of his career is to stay up to speed with the different technologies and software. Because digital media arts is a wide field, keeping up to date and ahead of what the students know is already a daily challenge. This next question I asked Dennis is honestly probably my favorite question I asked him throughout the entire interview. And that question was, what was the most exciting experience you have encountered in your career? And his response was, my most exciting experience is seeing a former student share their experience in their digital media arts career. Having them come back to the class and discuss their experiences and successes with current students is always fulfilling as a teacher. The next question I wanted to ask him is, what is the employment outlook in your career field and how much demand is there for people in this career? His response was, the employment outlook for media arts is relatively healthy, but it is ever-changing. Employers are looking for people that are well-versed in a wide range of fields. The days of being simply a photographer, graphic artist, or web designer are gone. Students must be knowledgeable in many fields to be effective. Social media experts are sought after by companies as they move towards having a more robust online presence. These past few weeks of dealing with COVID has exposed the need for people to be at the cutting edge of online communication, technologies, and skills. With that being said, I asked him to describe some of the toughest situations that he has faced in his job. His response was, the toughest part of this job is to see students with so much potential not pushing themselves to the fullest. Also, some of the toughest situations often come when having to fight for money when budget cuts come into play. The final question I wanted to ask Dennis was, what does he love most about his job? And he said, what I love most about my job is being surrounded by creative people and witnessing what my students create. I love the classroom atmosphere when everybody is creating and we can all learn from each other. I learned so much throughout this interview process, and it was such a great experience to get back in touch with an amazing teacher and friend in one. In my past, he taught me everything I needed to know. He was the one that actually recommended this college to me and introduced me to digital media arts. I learned so much throughout this interview process. Digital media arts is a constantly changing field. We are always going to have more and more things to learn. Take as many opportunities as you can and push yourselves to your creative limits. I also learned to follow your heart and do what you love to do despite the money outcome. Thank you.